And so I want to give you an opportunity to hear from one of your own. I want you to hear Tiffany's story right now and hear how God used her yes to eventually lead her to the waters of baptism and beyond. So will you please help me to welcome up Tiffany? Thanks, Tiffany. Appreciate you. The floor is yours.
Good morning, Soul City. Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor and a privilege to get up here and share my story with you. My name is Tiffany Lane, and I grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago. I went to a Catholic church. I went to CCD. I made my communion, and I occasionally went to midnight mass. Around the 6th grade, my dad started going to a non-denominational Christian church. I started going to youth group and church on Sundays. I was making so many friends, having fun, and of course, I was learning about Jesus. I got saved and baptized when I was in 7th grade. I had some understanding of Jesus, but in many ways, I was just going along with what I saw around me. After about 2 years, my dad stopped going, and then eventually I slowly stopped going. I never went to church from high school onward except for the occasional baptism, wedding, funeral, or mass. At 27, I went to a more spiritually based massage school, and I found that very intriguing. I was learning about God and the universe, meditation, energy work, as well as massage therapy, and this became my North Star. I believed in God and I prayed most days. I read many books on spirituality. I thought I was uncovering the answer to everything. I was seeking to bring love, peace, and joy into my life, and I wanted to heal from past traumas. But, of course, life happened. My dad tragically passed away when I was 33. There was a very complicated and painful legal battle that ensued for 3 years. Shortly after that, my 5-year committed relationship began crashing down all around me, and I was doing my best to keep it all together. Shortly after that, I started struggling with seasonal depression. I felt like there was a dark cloud over me, and I was white-knuckling every day. I felt hopeless, lonely, scared. In February of 2023, I was halfway through my second bout of seasonal depression. 2 friends gave me life-changing direction that I did not see coming. One inspired me to find a church, and the other one told me about The Chosen, which is a show that depicts the life of Jesus. I watched it, and I loved it. In the beginning of season 2, the disciple John is collecting stories about the life and love of Jesus. I sat there sobbing and I wondered, is this real? I opened up my Bible for the very first time to John and I started reading. The truth started to reveal itself to me, but I still had so many questions. I believe this is the moment I let Jesus back into my heart again. So naturally, I did a Google search, and I found Soul City. I noticed they were starting a class called Alpha. I signed up. I went. I loved it. After Alpha, I knew in my heart that He is the way, the truth, and the life. Later, I decided to join a table. I felt so welcomed, and God answered my prayer for community. But in January, that seasonal depression came back like a slap in the face. It caught me off guard because I had a relationship with Jesus now, and I couldn't make sense of it. But I fought. I fought by seeking God every day through His word, through His people, and through prayer. Easter was approaching, and I was truly anticipating the day. This year felt different. It felt personal for me. In the gathering, I felt the overwhelming love of God, and it brought me to tears. I noticed that joy and peace were pushing back that dark cloud. I decided to get baptized. The day of my baptism was perfect. I felt completely free when I came out of the water. I had surrendered it all. It was incredible. I was overjoyed by the love and support from my family and community. Now I wake up every day with such peace, joy, love, and expectancy. This is my hope and my prayer for everyone. I do not feel alone. It feels overwhelming at times because my life is forever changed. God continues to bless me. My good shepherd laid down his life for this lost sheep. He came to give me life and life to the full, and my life is full. God used my depression to draw me closer to him, and I now see the beautiful way I encountered him in my suffering. He truly uses it all. My story is one of returning home and saying yes to what's next. I came out of the water a new creation. God met me where I was at. I'm so grateful I do not have to do this life in my own strength anymore, and he is no longer silent.